there are two places I'd like to go. One is to ask you. First, I want to bless you that all your Talmudim, all your followers, all your Talmudim of your Talmudim, should never be comfortable in the back of the room unless they're greeting people warmly, like Shlomo used to do, sitting in the back of the shul, but should be on the avant-garde. So I want to ask you if you have any briefly comforting advice about being on the avant-garde, surviving spiritually and emotionally on the avant-garde.
There is a place that we inhabited before we took bodies. And that place is a place where there's a call going out, at mi yashlachu mi yelech lanu, whom should I send and who will go for us? The Shekhinah is calling out, I need some people who are going to go out and do the job. And at that time, some of us volunteered. And if somebody wants to find out what they are to do, they somehow need to recover that moment when they said yes and they got the job. It's so interesting how people always want to take somebody else's job, you know. His is more glamorous than mine, you know, and I'd like to do it his way and so on and so forth, but that's not the way it comes. So we all have an assignment, and I think that's important. The avant-garde has an assignment, but the rear guard is also important here. The people in the back of the shul. Sukkot, you know, Sukkot is a place in Jerusalem when lots of non-Jews come to fulfill a prophecy that says, I think it's Zechariah, that they will be coming to the holy mountain and fulfill the thing and come to God. So that year on Sukkot, I go to the Heichal Shlomo, you know, the Datikan, that great building there in King George Street, a big, big shul and so on and so forth. And there's a cantor, there's a great cantor, and there's a choir leader who at the Kedusha faces east and then goes like this to conduct the people behind him. Funny kind of stuff. And there sat a group of black people who had come to that Christian march, and they wanted to participate in that service. And there was nobody there who said hello, you know, who helped them with anything. So I went around and checked, what kind of a siddur have you got? You've got one with English? No, you don't. I'm not talking to you right now, as I did then. And I asked, have you got a siddur with English translation? I collected about 10 siddurim, and I said, you'll get them back, you'll get them back. And I took them over to those people and showed them where we were, and sat and davened right next to them. And when it came to various parts, I said, this is where the Gloria is. This is where the Sanctus is, you know, Kadosh, Kadosh. And they got to understand what was happening because there was no one sitting in the back. And I think that the hardest thing is for Chavurot today, for Jewish renewal services, when you come in and you see how everybody loves everybody and hugs them and so on, but you are a stranger there. And you feel that you haven't gotten a ticket yet, you know what I'm saying? Nobody comes and greets you, nobody comes and helps you. I think that's what I call Inreach. It's the outreach that we have to do in the shul to help the people and to show them, you know, this is what you can expect. When people don't feel easy and happy when they come to a shul, it's because they don't know what to do. Most of what we do in Jewish renewal would be strange because they never saw it in the suburban shul done that way. And when people come into a place that they don't know how to deal with, they get anxious, socially gauche, feeling wrong. And if somebody tells them, you know, this is the point where the guys are going to get up and dance. So if you feel like it, you can join them. You know, this is the point where we're going to sing. This is the point where we're going to be quiet. If you help people this way, that's a very important part of sitting in the back of the shul. And I think that's necessary. I also want to say that most of the people in Jewish renewal have become so complacent and comfortable with their place where they are that they don't go and do outreach. I sat in a plane one day, And behind me, there were two, the Monday morning flight where all the salespeople go out. And one guy opens up his briefcase, and there's a Bible there. And the other guy says, "You're born again?" And he says, "Yes, praise Jesus, born again." And the conversation that happened between these two guys in the back was such, I envied them, because they were, in their way, they were talking Torah. And so my sense is that we don't go and we see another Jew and we don't do what the Methodists used to do, which said, "Brother, I've come to inquire of the state of your soul," So it's nice to meet you, but how's your neshama been lately, And to give people an opportunity to reach some of the regions that we reached this morning.
Splendid advice.